cool, huh?
What up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of the Way Past Cool Nerdcast. I am Cam, the Enigma. I'm here with my boy Lex G. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself, brother?
What's up? It's Lex G. I don't have anything underneath my name like my man Cam does. I don't even know how to do that. But I'm with with multiple podcasts, Commonology, 101 The Main, 1 Melanated Geekdom, and also I am Hetty Murphy 69 on Twitch. And I'm glad to be here.
I appreciate you being here. So for those of you who do not know, this is a podcast that has been created to be a kind of a safe haven, a safe space for nerds all over the place. If you are uncomfortable coming out saying, hey, I like this, or I'm in the comics, I'm in the anime, or you're a huge gamer, this is the place to be. We're going to dive into all that over the course of the next few episodes. You know, we're shooting for a minimum of 100. So hopefully y'all stay around and stick with us. Hopefully we present y'all with some stuff that y'all want to hear, stuff that y'all enjoy. And let's kind of get into it. You know, we got a nice little show for y'all today. But first and foremost, let's start by talking about who we are and kind of what got us into the nerd culture. So you want to go ahead and start us off with that, Lex, being the co-host and everything?
Yes, sir. I've been a nerd since the age of I can remember. Since I opened up that box, that beautiful, beautiful box my grandmother had gotten me. My grandmother, I love you so much. In that box, I was 3 years old. I don't know why this old lady had gotten me this prize, this possession that started it all. Nintendo Entertainment System.
Okay.
First game I ever had, first game I ever beaten, Super Mario Brothers 3. And if you guys ever want to know my top 10 list, we should do that one day. But at that number one spot, everybody knows I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan, and that's like my favorite game, one of my favorite games of all time. But my number one is that Super Mario Brothers 3 because it's the first video game I've ever played.
Okay.
Fast forward. I was black.
I couldn't tell. I don't know if you knew that. I couldn't tell.
I was black throughout the 90s. And in the 90s, it wasn't cool to be a nerd. You got made fun of. I was a little nigga that had Pokemon cards, and I was quick to tell you all about it.
Listen, binders on top of binders of cards. Like, be on the back porch playing every day after school, faithfully.
Being a black nerd, you had to be tough, you had to be thick-skinned. And then they wanted to separate us. Fast forward. Let's say about 10 years later, they started calling us blurs. Like we were supposed to be separated from the nerds.
Right.
Nah, we existed. We are here. We love comics. We love anime. We love fucking sports, man. We love all that shit. We love wrestling. We love sneaker culture. And if you're a nerd, you're a fan. If you fucking go dress up at a con and you are not afraid of to be who the fuck you are, this is definitely the place for you. If you're afraid to be who you are, hey, let us be your voice. I wish I was a kid in this era where it's cool to love this shit.
Wild? Ain't that what? Did you ever think you would see the day where it will become cool and acceptable, you know, to walk around with the shirts on, the t-shirts on, you know, got the Death Note on myself, but you know, back in the 90s, early 2000s, that shit was not acceptable. You wear that shit, you was getting clowned. You was getting talked about, you was getting dragged through the mud for that shit.
Bro, so, let anybody find out you was looking for a Charizard.
What the fuck is a Charizard? What the fuck you playing the damn Pokemon bullshit? Like, yes.
Why y'all want to fight because of what I like?
Right. It's crazy.
Bro, but it was a vibe. But the crazy thing is, if you was in the hood, right, there was one thing that everybody had in common because they didn't know it was no nerd shit. At 5 o'clock, when you got out of school, everybody rushed home to watch Toonami to see Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon for that little tiny hour or two block we had with that shit. And that's how Cass was really introduced to anime.
Absolutely. That's how I was introduced to it. Shit. So
we have Akira Toriyama, I believe, may have been responsible for making nerd culture cooler because Dragon Ball was something that was so unavoidable. So unavoidable. You couldn't hate it. You couldn't hate a cat that loved it. It changed a lot for us. But let it be before that era. And you talk about Ghost and shit. Like, I don't care if it's PG-13, but nah, man. But you probably can attest to that, bro. Like growing up, and you just would rather be playing video games than run the streets. You was looked at, kind of strange.
Oh yeah. And it's funny because my introduction is very similar to yours. I credit my grandmother for it as well. I love you, Grandma. But much like you, different console, but same idea. I woke up to a Sega Genesis. First game I ever not purchased, but ever gotten for myself was the original Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Genesis. So if you can't tell by the name of the podcast, the Sega inspired font type and all that, like huge Sega fan, huge Sonic fan. Yeah. That was my introduction to gaming. That was my introduction to just the nerd culture in general. Seeing the Archie comics of Sonic the Hedgehog when I go to the store and all that, and hit the comic book section up. And
my man said Archie.
Yes,
man, nostalgia.
Listen, we taking it back, man.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, definitely big props and shout outs to the Genesis. But nah, like you said, having the Pokemon cards, being a major Pokemon head, I took one step further. I had the Game Boy games, the red, blue trading card game with link cable. Motherfuckers nowadays won't even know what a link cable is. And you realize you had to connect two consoles together in order to trade Pokemon back and forth.
So, yeah, to some Pokemon you can only get to evolve through trade.
Exactly.
So if you ain't know nobody with a link cable, you was fucked.
You wasn't getting that Machamp. So
yeah, good luck with that Gengar, homie.
Absolutely. But all through middle school, elementary school, even in the high school, like, I got some buddies of mine who would tell you that was me. I walk around, headphones on all day, listening to some video game soundtrack, some K-pop soundtrack, anime soundtrack, drawing the anime figures or characters. And I can't tell you how many Dragon Ball Z characters I've drawn in my lifetime. You know what I mean? From Vegeta to unfortunately Goku, who's trash, by the way. So anybody watching this new Goku fan, he's trash.
So you see, that's why I got Vegeta on the arm. I ain't got Goku.
Because you're a man of culture. You understand. You get it. So.
I like fine wines. I don't want no malt liquor.
Exactly. So, but yeah, man, it's just a beautiful thing. And like you said, I would kill to have grown up in this time period where anime is cool. Comic books are cool and acceptable, and you can have an open conversation and not be judged for it.
Bro, nah.
You have a whole community of people that's gonna join in and just vibe with you and rock with you on it. So,
bro, these nerd baddies, bro, never existed before like 2013.
You're right.
There's females that love video games and nerd culture too, and they battered in these preppy babes that be, you know what I mean? It's crazy, bro.
Nah, I feel that. But I can't say they didn't exist. They were just too scared to come out with it. That's what it was. Like we were saying earlier, it wasn't acceptable. So
now they fucking with niggas.
Exactly. So they joined in with the jocks and all that, the popular kids and all that, and was afraid to express themselves and express their interests and all that. But they was around. They were around. So
emo girls would have moved because like they already love black.
Right. You're right. They was definitely a vibe. So
they already into it, brother. Like, yo.
Listen, and
it's starting to come out the woodwork now. Yeah.
Listen, and the shows and stuff we watch ain't making no better. Ain't making no
That's
better.
facts.
I don't know if you like me, but
no, I have a very
Titans growing up was
bro. Every girl in anime, every like male on this planet who fucks with anime or any comic books, like all of our favorite females are the most toxic women, and
Absolutely.
like those and those two daughters,
Absolutely.
bro.
Harley Quinn, She-Go from Kim Possible.
our tolerance for psychotic women is way higher than I think like even a rapper's.
You're right. You're absolutely right on that. You are absolutely right.
For real, bro. I don't know, man. But there's a lot going on in the world right now of gaming. A lot going on in the comic book world. What's up with the first topic? What are we doing?
So first topic, we're gonna go ahead and dive into. I don't know if y'all seen the new Xbox report leak. Referencing a few key games that are going to be missing from a major platform. Mainly talking about Elder Scrolls 6 here. And how, Microsoft has no plans to put that on any other console other than Xbox. How you feeling about that? How you feel about exclusivity and just kind of the monopolization of a single IP or on a platform? How you feeling?
So I'm always against exclusives, and the reason why is because I feel like everybody should be able to enjoy these games with the platform that they can afford, because we're in a time frame where it's getting very expensive to live. So I don't think people have $1,500 to own all three consoles. But as a businessman, this shit is a smart move for fucking Microsoft. I'll tell you that much. If there is a so-called console war, and these companies are supposed to compete, and it's good for the gamer. At the same time, do I think that it's going to push consoles? Absolutely. But is it going to make that hardcore Sony fan that has never owned a Xbox in their life go to get Xbox?
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
I can't answer that question.
Absolutely.
I do know that Skyrim is dubbed one of the greatest games of all time. If they repeat that, how do you feel? Here's the question. As a PlayStation owner, if you see that the reviews is tens, yo, that shit, that greatest RPG of all time, you're not just gonna get the Xbox just for like the 3 months and then sell that bitch. You're not gonna do that.
No,
you're not gonna see.
Because to your point earlier, nobody has the money to go out and pay $1,500 to own 2 consoles or whatever. So you gonna go out there and spend $400 or $500 to play a single game?
Not me personally.
Try to sell it and flip it?
Not me personally. But we're living in a country where our debt ratio is incredibly high because people keep consuming. So right. I assume that when that tax money come in, baby, you got a little bit of extra, huh?
You're right.
Is you gonna make that extra purchase? Let's say that's the scenario. Tax money come, and then Elder Scrolls 6 is dropped. You ain't gonna get it.
No.
Damn, you a Sony fan. Oh,
hold on, you can't say that because I own every console. We've talked.
Oh, you have them?
I own every console.
Okay, so you don't think that other people
only have one console? I'm not about to go out and buy a whole console just to play a single game.
So you don't believe?
Look at Starfield, for example. Starfield is doing numbers. Starfield is bringing in current players, and it's got the industry set ablaze right now. PlayStation fans are wishing they can play it. They wish it was on their system. But have you heard of a PlayStation fan going out and actually purchasing an Xbox to play Starfield? Or are they just talking about how they want an Xbox to play Starfield? And I think the same is going to hold true for.
I think you're right.
I'm not Skyrim,
maybe
but
right.
Scroll 6. And you got to understand, with the console war and everything, fanboys is stubborn. Like if you are married to a console, you're not about to go out and cheat on your console or get you a side piece just
That's
to play that
so,
one game.
and
That's
that
not
is strange because of the piece of plastic. But you know what's crazy though? I used to be part of those wars. And every single console I had, I was part of those wars. Jumping from console to console, I'm a fucking console whore. I went from NES, right? Then I went to Sega Genesis, and Sega Genesis I held for a long ass time. Then I went to the PlayStation 1 probably in like 97. And then it took me a while. And then my steppops got an Xbox in the crib first.
Okay.
I got the PS2 Slim in the middle of the cycle. And then got the PS3. And then I hated the PS3. Try Xbox because of the multiplayer. That's really what it was. The controller was just better for FPSs. And I fell in love.
Okay.
Then I became a crazy Gears fan. So I was with Xbox for all these years, all the way up until Xbox One, the VHS, the big boy body. All right. So you see, I had generations of PlayStations, generations of Xbox. Sega was my favorite. I actually got a Dreamcast later on in life, and it's still my favorite console of all time. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all say. Dreamcast is the greatest fucking console ever.
You're getting an argument from me. You're not
craziest 2 years of games. It only had a 2-year life cycle, but it had the best 2 years I've ever seen at the beginning of a game console.
Oh yeah. The lineup was crazy.
It was insane.
The lineup was absolutely crazy. And that was the first time you were able to play, for the most part, the first time you were able to play like home ports of a lot of the fighting games that was out. Like that was one of the only ways you could access Soul Calibur. You know what I mean? So like that console will always be my all-time favorite. Like I was playing that shit the other day. Like Power Stone 2, Power Stone 1, see me.
Power Stone's crazy.
See me.
Now going through all those generations, one thing I noticed about myself is I was very tribal because I was, I was only able to get one of those consoles. Right. I had to save up for games, all that crazy shit. So you become tribal, like you try to defend your shit. But every time I was over a friend's house, I ain't gonna lie, I'd be a little jealous. I never had an N64. Never even in my adulthood, like where I could just go rebuy that motherfucker, never had an N64. I played N64 a lot because I went back in the day. We had to go over a friend's house to play video games. You know what I mean? It wasn't online. So I would go over there. And I remember one game particularly, the multiplayer was crazy, and it was Conqueror's Bad Fur Day. Okay. That was the first time I was like, "Yo, I want a Nintendo 64," but I was, as a kid, so it wasn't happening.
Shenmue was an amazing game, amazing.
But when I was over my friend's house, I was talking shit. Like, nigga, fuck this console. It's 64 for kids and shit. Booty as hell. They're gonna go play Final Fantasy 7, pussy.
Oh yeah,
that's how it was. You tried it, man. You tried it when you only had one in the crib, bro.
You doing? That's a hater. That's what you was. They ain't trying, but you a hater at that point.
But deep down inside, I wanted it, right?
Right.
I feel like that's the whole entire world when it comes to cell phones, video games, all that shit. And after experiencing it, it's just whatever you have, you want to feel like you justify your purchase. But when I say, bro, Elder Scrolls 6 is a big fucking game. This is a game that was multi-platform at one point in time and is sold on everything. Right. For it to be reduced, you gonna have Nintendo people that gonna want to play that shit. You're gonna have, and don't let me get on the Nintendo people. All right, if you grown as fuck and Nintendo is your main fucking console, you're an incel, dog. There's something wrong with you. Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. There's no way you should be in your fucking 20s or 30s and Nintendo is your fucking favorite console. I'm sorry.
Can't say that, man.
Bro.
First off, Nintendo delivers.
They deliver.
You can't say that nothing bad about Nintendo delivers.
I ain't saying that. I'm saying if you a brother that mains the Nintendo and you ain't got no kids, I guarantee you don't get your hair lined up.
Damn, I can't even defend that. I'm trying to think of something. Can't even defend that.
You ain't ever comb a nap in your life. You hear nothing about your appearance.
You ain't got no taper, no nothing. But like I said, yeah, I can't. But Nintendo, man, Nintendo got heat, man. Like,
they got heat. But listen, I ain't maining it, bro. Did you see Mortal Kombat 1? You seen Mortal Kombat 1. You seen Mortal Kombat 1.
Just don't get Mortal Kombat 1.
Bro, game me on a... Okay, you could get a Steam Deck for the same price as a Nintendo. As a matter of fact, the LED fucking Nintendo is kind of expensive. What is it, $399? You get a Steam Deck. Yeah. And play whatever you want. And it hooks up to the TV, 4K, all that stuff. Nintendo kind of pricey, man, for what you getting, bro. And I have a Switch. I have a Switch, everybody. I'm not hating. I have a Switch. I got my girl the Series X for her, for Christmas last year. We have consoles. All right. I'm staring at a PlayStation 5. I hate companies for specific reasons, but I do notice observations. And one thing I notice about, grown men that main
now that's a console seller. GTA 6, that should have been your argument. GTA 6 is an exclusive.
That's never gonna happen. Rockstar got the difference is, bro, Rockstar I think really does have fuck you money. Bethesda, they got bought by Microsoft. So they didn't have fuck you money like Rockstar had fuck you money. Like Rockstar is like, nah, bro, we gonna be on motherfucking Nintendo DS if we so choose to. That's Rockstar.
I get that. That was just an example, though.
Like if that was to happen,
exclusive. GTA
everybody's gonna
be that one,
bro. That I would have to get like the SEC or somebody. And that's a monopoly, bro. I'm sorry, you can't have GTA for one. Bro, that's the wildest exclusive anybody can claim. Like, bro, are you kidding me?
Listen,
GTA. Oh, you threw that one out there. That's way wilder.
If they could pull that off, there's no competing with them. The company that would acquire GTA and the rights of GTA, there will be no competing with them.
So we threw out. So not everybody is into the Game of Thrones, dark fantasy, right?
Right.
But then we have another game called Fallout, and they're supposed to have another one in development. If that's exclusive, no, you don't think? No. Bethesda ain't got it like that.
Bethesda ain't got it like that.
It takes a Rockstar.
Like I said, they reached a large audience with the Skyrim and all that. But again, like I told you before, I think a big part of that following an audience is because it was on everything.
Yeah.
If you take it off, like Microsoft is doing, you take it off of everything, it's going to sour a lot of people. A lot of people are going to fall off of that developer. Because they're going to be spiteful. They're going to be mad. They're going to be upset. They're not going to want to support them. It's bad. Like you were saying. They become what? What'd you say?
We still talking Rockstar? Are we still talking Rockstar?
No, we're talking Bethesda at this point.
Oh, Bethesda. Yeah. I think you're right, though. Yeah.
Like, they become tribal. They use your word against you, your verbiage against you. They're going to do exactly what you did. They're going to talk all the shit, but deep down inside, they're going to wish they had it. But they ain't going to go out and spend the money on it. They ain't going to go out and buy it.
Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be a banger, but like at the same time, I think you might be right. I think it would take a game like they would literally have to make it, which, like I said, I think the reason why Microsoft don't make Call of Duty exclusive is because they will get that monopoly fucking charge again, like they almost did in 95 when they was running a fucking computer realm and you couldn't have Windows. Like the lesson you was rich and had an Apple PC back in those days, but you remember the computer game back in the day, Windows owned that shit.
Yeah. But I honestly think that the Call of Duty thing, it's too
big.
It's too big, but Call of Duty's not what it used to be. Call of Duty has more haters now than they do have supporters, honestly. People buy it just because it's Call of Duty.
You know what? You know why that is, though?
They like it, but they buy it because it's Call of Duty.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that shit. I ain't gonna lie, because like I fought for the Modern Warfares, man, and I'll play them shits for like a month, but I ain't gonna lie, dude. You just don't get that same feeling you did when Modern. Like the last time I got that feeling with a card game was Black Ops 2. After that, they all kind of been subpar. I'm not gonna. No. I'll give Modern Warfare 2018. I give that shit all the credit because I played that one for almost 2 years straight. That shit was fire.
2018 was wild.
Modern Warfare 2, huge disappointment.
You're right.
Map design, all that shit. But then I start thinking about Advanced Warfare, all these other games that came out over the years, bro. They've been on the decline since Ghost. I
talk about Ghost,
bro. A lot.
I bought me and my buddy. I'm pretty sure here. We bought Ghost. Same time it was on sale for $16 off some random website.
Oh shit!
Bought that it wasn't even $16. It was $4, I think.
Yeah, I hit that the CD keys.
Like, all right, we're gonna play this, see what it's about. Got it, popped it in. I think we ran 2 matches. 2 matches. Was like, this is absolute trash. Ejected it from the system, took it to GameStop, and turned around and sold it for like $16. Made a nice.
He got his money back.
So couldn't be too mad at it. But, yeah,
bro, Ghost was horrible.
If Call of Duty was not as an exclusive, they're gonna lose sales.
Yeah, they're trying to trick us.
They know they have to keep that game multi-platform in order for it to even sell and be profitable. So
that's true. But I don't know, man.
But no,
it's gonna be very
all day long. But let's we got a whole other topic to get to, so let's go ahead and dive into that real quick. Also in recent news, they're saying that Square Enix has lost $2 billion since the month of June, and a lot of people are blaming Final Fantasy 16 for that. Me personally, I don't think that's the cause. I think a lot of people are forgetting about Square Enix previous flops and experiments that have gone wrong. Forspoken, we looking at you. Avengers, we looking at you.
Forspoken was crazy. They made a lot of bad decisions.
They've made a ton of bad decisions. NFTs, all that, releasing games on top of each other that have all been flops. And Final Fantasy, although it didn't break records in sales, it still sold well. But because it didn't recoup the losses that they had from their previous titles, everybody's trying to blame Final Fantasy for that disaster.
I think it may be the cost of Final Fantasy.
The cost of
it's the best
games nowadays.
No, I'm talking about in terms of like how development, yeah, because it's one of the biggest games like ever. To have those units locked to one console at launch is it's risky. You just took all those losses with those other games. Yeah, you already took all those hits from Forsaken, just like you said, all those other games that have failed, and then you dish this out. I think the smart move, honestly, and not just because I'm a PC player, but because it's something that doesn't affect the console world. Mm-hmm. You launch it on PC same day, just like Xbox. There's a reason why that's them Starfield fucking numbers are crazy high, is because at the same time it also launched on PC same day. And that's going to make Microsoft look good because it's their console exclusive. And that's what I think Square's their disconnect is, because Square games sell like crazy on PC. Yeah, so now you're boxing out a whole group of people that are willing to pay that $70 mark for Final Fantasy 16 because Sony is trying to push hardware, which I think that's always been the problem with Sony. Sony is trying to push hardware instead of pushing the software, where the software is where the money is at. The hardware, you're going to lose money every time you sell a console because they are way more advanced than that $500 price point. I admit that. Right. You're looking at probably something in the realm of $800 to $1,000 if you're in the PC world to try to build something similar. That's a fact. So you're taking a loss on these consoles already. Like I said, you have failures with these other games, and they were multi-platform, but it seemed that all your resources may have been put into that Final Fantasy 16. But you locked out a whole region of players that don't affect your console sales. And I've been saying this for years. the best place to game, honestly, if you have the money, if you buy every console, you might as well just buy a PC and just save and then play everybody's shit on one place. But the majority of gamers and players globally are on a PC platform. So that console war shit, if you look at the numbers, like they be hitting near, 60 billion units sold by the end of their lifespans, right? Think about how many that is. But they sit there and shun out another 60 billion people to try to push hardware that's not competing with something that is custom built. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So I think that that's a huge chunk of money that Square could have made up if Sony would have just been like, hey, bro, just release it in 3. Because now you see Final Fantasy VII, their gap is only 3 months before it's going to be released on the PC platform and I think Xbox too. And that is mid-contract. Like, remember, with the Final Fantasy game, it was supposed to be, a year and a half before you see it on another platform. Yeah. And we just get news after the Final Fantasy 16, it's only going to be a 3-month exclusive
deal.
Game.
Yeah, timed exclusive.
So my question is, who's learning the lesson? Is Sony the one that pushed, or is Square the one that said, hey, bro, we're losing money on these other projects. We need y'all to like loosen the leash on us and put this Final Fantasy on some other platforms. And that's where my problem comes with exclusives is it really does hurt. Like, think about how many companies end up collapsing.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough player base because it's an exclusive on here. We've seen it with
targeted audience and all that. So
we seen this shit happen with Gears, bro.
yeah.
Like, bro,
majors of a game Gears was it didn't take off the way that it deserved to.
Right. But it was also Microsoft shooting themselves in the foot. It was an exclusive game, yes, but also Cliffy B was unhappy, so he left. And then Judgment comes out. And it ruined the experience for everybody. And it was a miss. Then Microsoft, I feel, didn't put enough money back into the marketing for the game because Gears 5 was pretty fucking solid game. Gears 4 was pretty solid game. But the population compared to 1 through 3 just wasn't there. And after Judgment, remember there was talks of it coming to PlayStation at one point. There was a talks of Gears being on PlayStation. If they would have made that move, you would have opened up a whole nother market. You would have opened up a whole nother market for a dying franchise.
But I think what really killed those talks is the fact that Microsoft only has 2 exclusive titles or exclusive IPs that are even worth mentioning, and that's Gears and Halo.
No.
Back when
you can't leave out Forza.
Gears was a major thing.
But you can't leave out Forza though. Like, that's crazy.
Okay. Well, yeah.
No, Forza's huge.
You got to understand that Sony had Gran Turismo already. So
I love Gran Turismo. Bro, I'm a sim racing guy, dude. Like, I actually love Forza better than Forza Horizon. The only street racing game I will ever fucking love till I die is gonna be that Need for Speed Underground.
The original Underground?
The fucking originals, bro. Them shits was crazy.
BMW M3 on the cover? Oh yeah.
Bro, after that, give me a simulator. But Forza, Gran Turismo, man, both great games. Yet again, bro, not to go with the exclusivity thing, but man, the way Sony kind of made Polyphony put that Gran Turismo out was so cash grabby, bro. Like, and that's where I think that when I say that Sony is anti-consumer, you don't hear both those things with Microsoft's platform. Like, greedy crash grabs inside of their exclusives. Like, bro, that's the biggest racing game, one of the biggest racing games on the planet, Gran Turismo 7. They said that, and real money, it would take you $80 to get something decent. Like, I'm like, wait, what? They did go back and they switched everything after a month, but they tried it, bro. And they said that the actual developers of Gran Turismo, they didn't want to do that shit. And I feel like we're starting to see like gamers kind of starting to fight back and fight with the wallets. And I think that when people start realizing that like us, the consumer, we control where the money flows to, we got to stop giving money to fucking games that aren't finished. We got to stop doing that. We got to stop giving into the microtransaction thing, and we got to stop buying consoles when they first come out, because we all complain about what? No games, or the shit there's having so many issues, blah blah blah. We got to stop doing that.
But it's
Or
not gonna
else,
happen because we gotta have the latest and greatest as soon as it hits. You
that's
gotta
why
be
we
one
have.
gotta be one of the cool kids. That's called being a cool kid nowadays. Is you gotta have it as soon as it drops, and then you just go complain about it up until it changes, it gets fixed, or whatever. Cyberpunk came out 3 years ago, and it's just now getting to a state where it's completed. So, and all people did was complain the whole time.
It's unfair.
They still bought it day one. They knew about it before it even came out. They knew it was terrible before it came out. Still bought it day one.
Cyberpunk, CD Projekt Red's biggest issue was the fact that they made them crunch to get the game done, right?
Yeah.
When they released it, they should have never released on last gen console. The game was way too big. I'm being serious, bro. Way too big, bro. Cyberpunk.
Get off of work and go back to working game. You ain't want to be a forklift driver down on the docks,
bro. Cyberpunk to me was one of the best RPGs I've ever played, but I also didn't play it on console, which had the most problems.
Okay.
But PC had a shit ton of problems. You had to have like a fucking crazy rig to run that game successfully. That's a fact. And that's why I don't think that they were solely prepared for last gen. I think that the game should have released 2 years from now, or at this time frame, 3 years. I think this would have been the perfect time to release it when it was done and finished. I'm not going to cap on that. But if you experience my experience, yeah, I had a few glitches. But other than that, Cyberpunk was a game that shouldn't have got the crazy hate that it did. But it was unfortunately the developers weren't able to optimize it for so many fucking different entities they had to deal with. Like I said, we could keep going back. The Nintendo Switch MK1. Some stitch, this you shouldn't do. You should just leave it alone. Just say, hey, bro, y'all ain't getting it. Y'all ain't getting it. CD Projekt Red said, nah, let's switch it to the cats who ain't get the new console yet.
Right.
Then the motherfuckers spent $60 if you were still on last gen. They popped that bitch in, and then motherfuckers was running around naked and missing heads with no textures, bro. Not everything needs a release, man. But at the same time, not every game should be exclusive. Bro, we seen it with Capcom and Street Fighter, bro. Street Fighter was an epic flop. Street Fighter 5, epic fucking flop.
Yeah.
They held it. They held it to 2 platforms, PC, which PC doesn't have a strong fighting community. It never has. And then PlayStation. PlayStation has a strong fighting community, but it's still, if you make it multi-platform, make it crossplay, bro, the game is going to last. You could keep pushing out your fucking microtransactions and your DLC for years if you keep the game fucking just fresh and on with enough people to fucking play your shit. But
yeah, I feel you.
Who am I?
That is a valid point. Going back to the because I believe you're talking about the Cyberpunk issue. Everyone was pushing for a Cyberpunk release. Everybody, once they announced it, once the hype started, the hype train came in, everybody was rushing them out. Everybody. So
that was also
I feel like the developer was pressured at that point to release the game. And as the developer, you still need to have a handle on the situation and let it be known. But I feel like they were getting members of the team, developers getting death threats and everything. So,
bro, but you know why? Because they kept giving us release dates, and that was their biggest mistake.
That is true.
They gave us like fucking 10 release dates, and we ain't know when that game was coming out, bro. We was just like, all right, it's coming out in April. Oh, now it's coming out in January. Oh shit, now it's pushed back to next year. Oh shit, it's coming out next month. Like, oh, this can't be good. Like they said it wasn't ready, and then they pushed it out 2 months after they said it wasn't ready. I was like, oh. I'm still gonna buy it because The Witcher 3.
Facts. Yeah, but Sonic 06 did have a very similar situation. But I think also with Sonic 06, the development
Sonic
team,
06.
the higher ups were looking to force that out as well.
Sonic 06
said it wasn't ready. They even said that this game is going to come out pretty much in a beta type state. So,
bro, I just thought Hunter Biden was on the development team, bro. I just thought everybody on the staff was doing crack. That's what I assumed, bro. They have bestiality in the kids game. It was wild.
That was wild. Sonic kissing.
Sonic was getting princess cheeks, bro.
Listen, I'm the biggest Sonic fan that you will probably meet. I love Sonic 06.
Tone,
I understood what it was.
Tone is a villain. This is what I'm talking about. Tone, you love that. Don't you loved 06 Sonic, didn't you? That's probably one of your favorite games. Silver did it for you, huh? That was your man's.
But
Silver the Hedgehog, come on, man. I can't look.
It's no use.
But, my man said that like 50 million times, bro, and then the map will crash.
Right.
Bro.
We're going to go ahead and wrapping this thing up. So definitely appreciate y'all rocking with us for the first episode. Like I said, definitely tune in.
They're interacting.
More to come, more to talk about, to discuss. It's not just going to be gaming centric, gaming focus. Comic books, Pokemon, whatever that you like. Anything nerd, look at the backdrop. Anything nerd culture wise, we on it. But I appreciate you being here, for joining me. And we're gonna be up out. You got anything you want to say to the people before we wrap?
Oh yeah. Make sure that you go follow us wherever you need to go follow us. We live on Twitch and all that shit too right now.
Live on Twitch, live on YouTube, live on Facebook.
Make sure you
Nothing Network. Definitely about to start taking over.
Shout out to the fucking this is a network. This isn't no fucking network. Just a pod. This is a network. Ain't the only
podcast we rocking with. This is a network. On Mondays we got Easy Monday Motivation with my man's E and CT. Tuesdays the Comfy Couch with Miss Siobhan. Wednesdays we got Food Talk the Foodcast with Scotch with E and Rome the Chef. Thursdays we got just
cross platform.
Absolutely. Thursdays we got just some
food.
With Malk the Mailman and C Mello. Fridays you can tune in with us here on Way Past Cool Nerdcast, and on Sunday nights we got the podcast About Nothing. So the network is going to continue to grow. We got a couple more things in the works that we kind of working out the details to. So definitely tap in and like us, all platforms, all Facebook, YouTube, Twitch,
all of that,
TikTok. We out there. So we're going to start getting the links posted. That way y'all can follow, make it easier for everybody. And
also follow Hetty Murphy 69 at Twitch. I'll be streaming Valorant, MK, all that shit, and I play a lot of horror games, so you can watch me scream like a little girl. I do that. I do that.
I just told you Sonic 06 is my shit, but you can't act like it doesn't have its issues. Come on, man. You got to be realistic here.
Tone, 06, that shit was trash, bro. It had one fire map, and it made it to Sonic Generations. That was it. That was it.
Literally fire, so,
Yeah.
But,
bro, dumpster fire.
But on that note, y'all, we are out. Love, and we holler at y'all next time.
Peace.